All right, what's next in Raid? Let's find out what the future may hold.
Where we'll be talking all about what's coming next in Raid. We've got a whole lot to wriggle through today, so let's just slither right into it. First up, the Guardian Ring. Some of you may have already seen our other video dedicated entirely to the Guardian Ring.
Dupe system,
but if
got
not,
it.
don't worry. We're going to coil our explanation up into a small ball of cold, hard facts.
Okay, I get it. You're doing snake
Ring
puns.
is primarily here to give everyone a way to use their duplicate champions. It'll be replacing the current sparring pit in your Bastion, but you won't be losing the sparring pit you know and love. It's just shedding its old skin and being upgraded with a bunch of new additions. The first new add-on is Faction Guardians, where you assign a special council of champions for each faction that gives champions of their respective rarity within that faction a global stats boost.
We all know all this already.
For rare, epic, and legendary champions, and with this feature, you'll get to have your cake and eat it too.
Oh yeah, we have.
You still get
Everyone's
to keep
got
your
6
Faction
mollies
Guardians and use them in battle. It's going to be a huge boost to early and mid-game players who probably won't have any.
This is the coolest part of the dupe system, basically, right here. This is the coolest part of the dupe system.
Duplicate legendaries in their collections, but will more than appreciate being able to strengthen their rares and epics to help them climb over some of those tougher raid hurdles. The stats boost itself is nothing to hiss at, and will be approximately half as strong as the bonuses from a maxed out Great Hall. It'll give you a lot of...
That is a lot of stats, just so you know. Half the stats of a max Grey Hall is a lot.
Freedom when it comes to tweaking and adjusting your champion builds and play styles, as well as your Great Hall upgrade strategy, now that you'll have an additional layer of boosts too on top. The other 2 additions are exclusively for duplicate legendary champions.
Okay, so far I like all of this for the dupe system, basically. I mean, it's a lot of stats, but whatever. Okay, this was all fine. This empower part is where well, you know what? Let's just have your opinion.
First, you can empower champions using their own duplicates or some surrogates if you can't get more than one of that champion, like Lydia. Empowering will help you beef up your champions to make them extra tanky, extra killy, or extra whatever you've built them for. We don't want empowered legendaries to become unbeatable demigods, so we're capping empowerment. You'll only be able to empower a champion up to 4 times. Last on this list, but certainly not least, champion unbinding. If you're sure you have no use for a duplicate legendary champion, you'll be able to permanently release them from your service in exchange for a life token.
There it is. 500 tokens for 1, basically.
You'll then be able to take those life tokens and trade them for a new legendary champion at the token trader. We'll be adding a bunch of special champions to the token trader over time, including some that were available.
So here's the thing. Why would life tokens not just be 1 single token? Why would it be in these number of these? Why would you have like 500 tokens for 1? Why wouldn't it just be 1 for 1? It's because you're obviously going to be able to acquire currency elsewhere. I mean, they're going to give you 5, 10, or whatever of these from like Hydra or something else. I mean, you're going to be able to either buy these straight up, or some legendaries would be worth more or something like that. Okay, there's no reason for the currency to be 500 of it unless it's you're making the pool larger so you can sell smaller and larger amounts. That's what's the reason.
Available via fusion events in the past.
Or else you're just making 1 token.
Expect to see Molly Tankard, Manaya, Fushan, and the new and improved Tomb Lord in the near future. In fact, community favorite Sir Nicholas will be coming to town very soon, so you'll be able to hand out some gifts of festive fury to some very unlucky boys and girls.
I mean, if you have 8 duplicate legendaries.
All right, that's the big update squirming its way in-game very soon, but that's not all.
Okay.
Let's take a quick fire look at a bunch of other updates we're bringing to Raid soon. First, the Shadowkin are getting their own faction crypt. It means more milestone rewards, but you'll still have to finish every crypt if you want Lydia. So if you're close to finishing already, you might want to finish the job before you have another crypt to complete. Second, we're renovating the tavern. We're adding a filter that only shows champions that are eligible for each type of upgrade.
I like that. The filters here are this is really nice quality of life. Let's see what we got planned.
As well as the ability to change the sorting orders from ascending to descending. XP brews will also be grouped together in a single slot to make things quicker and easier to manage. And we're also adding a slider to make it even easier to beef up your champions in one go. Third, we're adding rank and rarity filters to the artifact storage, as well as making it possible to select all the artifacts you've filtered for with one tap, so you can sell your gear in bulk. Fourth, and my personal favorite, changes to save teams and skill instructions. We're increasing the number of save teams to 15, and we'll be dividing them up by game mode so you have 15 for each mode. We're
Like
also
it.
making it possible to create farming setups that you can run in multi-battle mode, along with being able to set different skill instructions for each round of a battle separately. Alongside these changes, we're exploring some options for how to make it quicker and easier for everyone to speed things up throughout the game, starting with Faction Wars and the Doom Tower. We're going to be kicking things off by enabling super raids for Doom Tower boss fights. And to keep things fresh in battles, we're also adding a new buff and debuff pair that increases or decreases resistance in battle. Being able to have an enemy's resistance is no...
Having half their resistance. I don't think I'm knowledgeable enough about high-end arena to comment on this for PvP. I'm going to have to ask somebody else. This is going to be useful in PvE for sure.
No joke. And we think...
That being said, I'm not looking forward to fighting PvE minions that have this ability on them.
These effects will add a new layer of strategy to raids battles across the board, including introducing completely new team compositions and archetypes. And since we're on the subject of new team compositions, the best thing for that is new champions. A bit of a tradition here on our What's Next series. What you're looking at now
Instead of new champions, how about new ways to get existing champions? I think that would be a better way. But you know what? New champions, sure.
First sneak peek into the next line of dungeon delving. Boss-beating badasses coming to Teleria in the near future. Okay,
Shao-Kahn,
that's
obviously.
all we've got for you. Oh, wait, one last thing.
Yeah, here we go. Hydra.
You might have
Okay,
already seen
baby.
a few leaks from Raid Sleuth-like detective community about the Hydra already, but if you haven't, here's a full breakdown of what will be Raid's toughest, scariest, and biggest boss fight. The Hydra is our second clan boss, in addition to the Demon Lord you're all well acquainted with.
Dope.
However, it's a bit different than just fighting one boss. You all know the old commonly used adages, 4 heads are better than 1, 4 snakes in the hand are worth 12 in the bush.
Obviously.
The more serpents, the better.
Yep.
Well, they're all true in Raid World too.
Hydra
This
Season
unkillable
1.
beast will be bringing 4 heads to every
Oh,
fight,
there's seasons.
each with totally unique skills and mechanics to deal with. Actually, it'll be bringing 6 heads, but you'll only have to deal with 4 at any one time. We'll get into that
Okay, the
a bit
seasons
later,
will obviously
but first,
shift the
let's
heads.
break down the basics.
Just like
It's a
Doom
big
Tower
fight,
rotation, right?
And you'll need reinforcements.
It's
so
6
you'll
champions.
be taking 6 champions in
Oh, it's 6 champions. That's kind of cool.
each Hydra
Okay,
battle.
that's going to change up
Just
a lot
like the
then.
other clan bosses, the Demon Lord, you'll be battling the Hydra to chase high scores and win huge rewards. You'll be
Looks
fighting to
sick.
stay alive as long as possible and deal as much damage as you can along the way.
Looks sick.
However, unlike the Demon Lord, the Hydra will be running on a different cycle. While the Demon Lord resets every single day, the Hydra will reset once a week. On top of that, you'll only get 3
Okay, so it's 3 keys. It resets once per week. Okay, so your clan has to be able to take it down every week to get the 2x, right? Because there's going to be twice as many chests, I would think.
Hydra keys per week. So you and your clan will have more flexibility to figure out when you want to take the Hydra on.
Okay.
So the Hydra will reset every week, and things will stay pretty much the same week to week. You'll fight the same Hydra with a mixture of those same heads. Each head will be tied to a certain affinity, so you'll be able to figure out a good strategy over time to deal with the current challenge. Predictable, easy, right?
Okay.
But here's the twist. Every 4 weeks, a new rotation will start.
Okay.
This means, just like the Doom Tower, shuffling the pack.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Each head will be paired with a new affinity, and the 4 starting heads you have to deal with will change. And in the future, when we add more
different
heads,
affinities.
it'll mean entirely new
Okay.
combinations of 6 heads and a whole new challenge. To make things
Okay,
even
got it.
tougher, once you've used a champion in a Hydra battle, you won't be able to use them again until after the next weekly reset. So looking to lock
Rip free to play.
in a single gimmicky team is off the table here.
Well,
You're going to
okay, here's the thing. Do I really hate this? I don't know if I really hate this. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I hate this mechanic because this mechanic, it might in fact be a pain in the ass, but it has been effectively a fun mechanic in other games. I mean, here's what I'm thinking about, okay? I actually don't think this is a bad mechanic. And here's why. I'm gonna back Plarium up on this one because I have very often said before that I think they should rip off Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and rip off their raids. They're ripping off their raids. The raids are a weekly thing that when your heroes die, they die. And it actually is a really cool mechanic to be honest, because it may mean that you need a wider roster. But what it did is it gave breadth to all these other champions that you otherwise wouldn't have needed, because you only need one team to beat all the content, right? So while this may, in reaction, actually seem like a really toxic pay-to-win thing, and to be honest, new content's innately going to be pay-to-win in almost any game, to be fair, I actually don't think this is that bad of a mechanic, because it has proven to me to be extremely fun and has forced the community to build out different teams. It effectively made the community collectively brainstorm what is the best teams possible, because they're going to die afterwards, and you have to know which hero goes into which team. It makes you be efficient with which hero is the best in each comp, and actually makes the brain power more of the theory crafting of the heroes. I double like this because the game has so many different champions that what it's effectively going to do is really bring out the theory crafting and the mixing up of the champions you have. Now, there may only be certain champions that are going to be able to beat some of the Hydra things due to the nature of the difficulty we've seen of the Hydra and all that, but we'll have to see when it comes to the game with the stats and all that, and we'll see when we actually get our hands on it. But my initial reaction was this is like rip free to play and all that. But the more I think about it, the more I actually really enjoyed this mechanic in Star Wars because of the side effects it had when it came to developing the game further from the community side of it.
You need 3 unique teams that can stand up to the challenge to get the most out of the Hydra. Then, every month, re-examine your strategy again, because the script may very well have been flipped. Because each head is so unique, you won't be able to use the same tricks every time. We're not going to cover each head's skills right now, but here's a quick snapshot of the 6 heads you'll be fighting against in the first rotation of the Hydra. The head of Torment, the head of Decay, the head of Wrath, the head of Blight, the head of Suffering, and my personal favorite, the head of Mischief. If those names alone don't sound scary enough, wait until you see them in battle. Okay. Things get real crazy. You'll be fighting 4 of these heads at the same time, and you'll be fighting hard to stay alive and deal out as much pain as possible. You'll want to cut off the Hydra's heads to maximize your damage. This is
the new in-game content. I agree.
Doesn't mean you only have to fight against 3 heads.
I actually kind of like it.
We said the Hydra brings 6 heads? Well, if you do manage to decapitate a head, another will grow back. You cut off the head of Blight, and it might come back with a vengeance, or it might be replaced by the head of Decay or head of Torment, whichever the 5th and 6th heads are in the current rotation. So, endless pain for your team. But don't worry, you have 6 champions, and it only has 4 heads. You have the numbers advantage. It's going to be like shooting snakes in a barrel. Not exactly. This beast has another trick up its sleeve. It's also going to be trying to eat you. Every so often, one of your champions will get eaten by one of the heads. Now, just like in real life, these Hydras have long necks and stomachs in their necks. So you have a few turns to chop off that Hydra's head before it fully digests and can...
So I was waiting to understand this a little bit further before I comment on this. I don't like instant kill mechanics in raids. Star Wars Galaxy Heroes has an instant kill mechanic in Phase 1, and it makes the phase extremely unenjoyable due to the RNG of which person gets instantly consumed. What really depends is how you can focus your attention of the enemy to which person gets consumed. It does give you time to recover your hero, which is better than I've seen in some of the other games. So I don't automatically hate this. Also, on top of it, if you guys are noticing, there's like these yellow outlined icons in some of the raids in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And to be honest, I have many times said that they need to rip off Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because they did a good job with the PvE. And honestly, this isn't a rip-off. It's just similar, okay? But in that game, they have these yellow icons that go around exactly like this in the buffs. But what they are is they're buffs and debuffs that the raid gives your people as abilities. Like being in the raid gives you this like anti-Hydra ability, and you can choose to use it on whichever hero you want. That might be one of the way we beat this. If it's so, because we're trying to figure out how you beat the Hydra, it looks really hard, right? Well, they might actually give us some abilities innately just because we're in the Hydra. We don't know. You know, they are buffs from the new item sets. Is that what it is? Are these actually the buffs from the item sets? The reaction ones? Because I wasn't aware that they had different, like the yellow outline. If that's what it is, then it's, I suppose they're buffed from the Hydra sets. Yes, the new sets. Oh, okay. See, I'm not aware of the new sets yet. So there's a whole thing I don't even understand. I was thinking that this is like, I was going to go another way with this and say this would be really cool if they give us like abilities by being in the Hydra. But okay, let's continue.
Consumes your champion. If you slice the head off, you free your champion and they're back in battle. If you don't, they're dead and gone.
Okay,
and
so you can recover
really
them. There's
gone.
a
You won't be able
counterplay
to
mechanic.
revive them, and you'll have one champion missing for the rest of the fight.
That's fine.
Sounds like a tough battle.
You know, here's the thing. Like, that's actually fine. This is very similar to the Annihilate mechanic from Nihilus in Part 1 of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the Heroic Sith Raid. And this mechanic, while I know it's completely different games, but they are similar. Like, be the boss, lots of cool different mechanics within this boss. This mechanic portion is the same. And it effectively is beatable. There's ways you can deal with it. And one of the ways you deal with it was an in-game buff that they give you from actually being in there. But the other part is you can trick the AI to target certain people. So you can effectively bring like people they're in that when they die, they do something or something like that. So there's other ways we could deal with this. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see.
It is, but the rewards are more.
Also, there's hero like Deathless that gets stronger with the more heroes dead. I wonder if it's going to bug out with there being 5 heroes dead and she's the last one. Maybe she would just one-shot the Hydra.
More than worth it. To recap,
we'll have to test that.
You fight the Hydra just like you fight the clan boss. Higher scores, better rewards. Rewards will be earned in the.
Okay, so what data can we get from this? 17 million damage. Okay.
Form of Hydra chests
chests.
given out at the weekly
Okay, here we go. What are the HP levels of this? Bruto was 723 million. Okay, let's just see.
Set. And better yet, if your clan man
there. This is the Grandmaster chest, 43 million damage.
just to fully deplete the Hydra's
That's
HP,
easy Hydra.
you get
Yeah, just like clan boss.
double the rewards. Let's talk about what those rewards are. Aside from
please.
the obvious things like clan.
Oh, you get clan coins. Okay. Clan gold is actually a really fire reward. Because clan gold can be used to whatever you desperately need. And you can even get accessories with it. Like I get accessories with it on the free to play. This is actually clan gold is actually a really fire reward.
Gold, clan XP, there are some serious rewards on offer. First, you'll be able to win fragments for an exclusive champion, Mythical Life Bane. We're already taking huge.
Dang it. I was really hoping universal fragments or it was fragments of previous fusions. I was not hoping this is Doom Tower where the fragments are of a new hero. This is exactly what I was not hoping in terms of reward. But let's keep going.
Inspiration from Greek mythos here, and Mithrala fits into that perfectly. We'll be releasing a dedicated champion spotlight for Mithrala soon, but as you'd expect from someone that looks like Medusa's long-lost sister, she's going to be able to poison people. Oh, and turn people to stone.
There you go.
That's a thing now, too. It's a really scary debuff that can take people out of the fight entirely, with a downside or two. We'll cover it in greater detail soon, but let's just say, in the right hands, with the strategy, it's going to be a game changer. That reward's simple. New champions are never a bad thing. But what about unique rewards or new mechanics? Oh, I'm glad you asked. You'll also be able to win a whole new type of artifact from Hydra chests. We're not talking.
Here we go. These aren't accessories. These are artifacts. Here we go.
Just a new buff or boosted stats, but an entirely new breed of artifacts that give you set bonuses depending on how many you have equipped.
Oh. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bonus.
These special variable artifacts will give you an extra bonus with only one of their kind.
Wait, what are the stats? Why is one of these orange? Like you see the speed's orange?
Equipped. Then another bonus if you equip.
Wait, and that's mythical. Oh, fuck no. Your gear's about to be useless, bro.
2, 3, 4, or even a full 6 of them. These are unlike any other artifact sets in Raid and will open up huge possibilities
Jesus
in terms
Christ.
of
Look at the
combos and
speed
builds.
bonuses.
Right off the bat, we'll have 2 of these special variable artifact sets. Set 1, Stone Skin. Equipping a single artifact from this set will give your champion a modest but useful 8% HP boost. Equip 2,
Okay.
and you also get an extra 40 resistance on top. But equip 4, and you'll get access to an entirely new defensive buff called Stone Skin, which you'll get for 1 turn at the start of the round. Stone Skin will mean your champion takes almost no damage from enemy attacks, and makes your champion immune to all debuffs except for bombs. In fact, bombs will actually do more damage as they can shatter your champion, but it's still...
Oh my god. So in order to make bombs good, they made them the counter to the new stuff? I actually really like that. That brings value and a counterplay to shit. I like that too. Oh man, dude, there's a lot I like in this
Still
update.
a great trade-off for all the benefits of Stone Skin. That's if you equip 4, but equip 6 and you get 2 turns of Stone Skin, plus a boatload more stat boosts. The next set's called a Protection set, and it works the same way. Equip 1, 2, or 3 artifacts and get extra stats. But at 4, the set has a chance to protect any buff the wearer casts or receives. Protected buffs can't be removed or stolen, so this set is sure to be invaluable to any champion whose buffs are the best.
I'm not speaking for them because I'm not one of them, but I guarantee you Platinum players are just going to love the RNG aspect of this.
Bedrock of your team. Just like the Stone Skin set, this becomes even more powerful at 6 pieces. The protection chance increases, plus you have the benefits
24% speed.
of all the other stat boosts along the way. If the special mechanics alone weren't enough for you to want those sets, how about raw power and strength alone? Stone Skin and protection artifacts will be available in an entirely new rarity, Mythical. Mythical artifacts are a step up from legendary artifacts in strength, and you won't be able to find these anywhere else.
And in RNG,
Mythical
right?
artifacts start with all 4 substats unlocked, but one of the substats will be increased to the equivalent of a level 4 legendary artifact, meaning you'll be able to eke out a little bit more power from mythical artifacts than legendary.
AKA, your thousands of dollars of Platinum Arena gear is now worthless.
Ones. It's a small edge, but at the highest level, those small margins make
Am I
a
wrong?
big difference. As you can probably tell, these artifacts will be incredibly versatile and useful pretty much anywhere, no matter whether you're focusing on PvP or PvE.
I would be
Hydra
so pissed off
is
if
a
I bought speed
huge
gear for a
update,
year
and
straight.
we'll be gradually adding more content to it over time, with awesome new rewards and terrifying new heads.
Wow, that's a lot
And
of gear
we're
drop.
super
Okay, hold on. The thing is, like, I'm like half of this is a little bit like, and the other half is like, kind of cool.
As you can probably tell, these artifacts will be incredibly versatile
Okay.
and useful pretty much anywhere,
Yeah,
no matter
fair.
whether you're focusing on PvP or PvE. The Hydra
There's
is a
the buff.
huge update, and we'll be gradually adding more content to it over time, with awesome new rewards and terrifying.
There it is. Okay, so you can see the mythical drop. It goes red, and then 430 coins. That's the Grandmaster chest. He gets 4 of the shards of the legendary. That's a lot of gear. You know, guys, I actually think this looks pretty cool. Like, there's some mixed feelings for sure. Like, I mean, I'd be pissed off if I had spending money on speed gear. We knew at some point mythical gear was coming because it was literally in the roadmap. So we did know that. I actually kind of like that. I actually kind of like this update. Like, I mean, we don't know. It's not. Here's the problem. The devil's in the details. Because the dupe system, I thought looked fire when it was announced, and then in implementation, it's a little bit weaker. I actually kind of like. I mean, this all looks pretty fun. I'm trying to look at the game from like, let's just have fun aspect, and not like this super toxic, I'm the elite best in the world type thing. So it's like. As a fun, I think this is gonna be fun to do. I think this is, I like most of this. And then the filtering of the tavern looks fire. And then the new, the halving of the resistance and all that. There's a lot that's changing in the game. I don't know if change is necessarily always bad. It might be uncomfortable. But I actually kind of like this. My overall
We've got
mixed
a lot
feelings.
of exciting content in the works, and you definitely don't want to miss out.
I would say
Till
mixed
then,
feelings.
Happy rating.
Yeah, mixed feelings, but I'm leaning towards very positive. I would think. I'm leaning towards positive. I don't know if I'd say very positive. But I'm leaning towards positive for sure. The mythical, rarity and all that, but RNG and dopamine is the reason we like this game, guys. Like we're all gamblers, and I mean, even the free to play people play free to play, and then you get the hit of dopamine when you get a free shard. So I see more RNG and more dopamine, and maybe the balance will get completely thrown away. And I'm sure that a lot of my gear that I've farmed already, and I'm actually currently literally farming right now, is going to become borderline worthless. But that is the way progress goes with these type of games. And I think I'm leaning towards optimism.